Welcome to And Know, where we can discover God's Word together. And Know is taken from the verse found in Psalm 46. Be still and know that I am God. Being still actually takes a lot of patience and energy. Every day we hustle from here to there. So let's challenge ourselves to take just a moment to be still and see where God might lead us today. Welcome to episode 19 of And Know. Last week was spring break for my crew, and we enjoyed a week off of usual activities and workloads. We're back into the swing of things once again, including the weekly dose of And Know. If you already have, thank you. But if you haven't yet, I would love it if you could head on over to the And Know Spotify or YouTube channels and give me a follow. You'll get a notice when a new episode is available, and you can share podcasts with your friends. While we love the pace we live our lives at, we have been looking forward to spring break for a while. Not only because it was a week off, but also because we could attend a wedding that allowed us to board a plane and create some great family memories. Although the weather was not what we were hoping for, we still had a great time and found ways to create a few new family jokes, most of that which I was the brunt end of. But the purpose of our time away was to be a part of all the wedding festivities and bear witness to an exceptional couple exchanging vows before their guests and, most importantly, before God. I sat in a beautiful church and listened to the music. I saw the wedding party make their way to the front, including a host of adorable rain bears and flower girls. And then the bride came in. She was truly stunning, but that's also because I know her heart. She exudes beauty from the inside out, and seeing her marry the love of her life brought a new joy to her that was a blessing to witness. All of the planning and preparations went according to plan, and before we knew it, this couple was on the starting line of their life together. We listened to the famous proclamation, "I now pronounce you husband and wife," and they began the next chapter of their lives. Listening to their vows brought me back to my own. It is a little surreal to have been sitting next to my two teens during the service, but even more so next to my husband, who I've been married to for almost 25 years. I still have a hard time wrapping my head around that fact, that my life with him is longer than the time that I spent living with my parents. And this being a family wedding, we dug deep into those fantastic childhood memories. But those are almost getting crowded out now because of the memories I'm making with my own crew. Time really has a funny way of manipulating our patience. Time either goes much too slowly or speeds along far too quickly. But let's head back into that church. Listening to those vows reminded me of when I said my own vows. I remember so much about that moment. I remember the church feeling still and quiet as I heard my voice share this promise before both my husband-to-be and the God we were promising these vows to. In the beginning, marriage is euphoric. Being married was the best, and life's possibilities were endless. But that real-life reality comes quick. That honeymoon phase starts to fade as schedules and workloads and bills and all of the rest start to take a foothold of the conversations. But this isn't a marriage podcast. Think about someone right now who you feel called to invest deeper with. Who is that someone that might be coming to mind right now that may require some intentionality? It could be your spouse, but it could also be anyone. I believe that no one is in our lives just by chance. Now, that doesn't mean that everyone has to be your best friend, but it does mean that we should listen to who God is calling us to invest in. Think about the Good Samaritan story. Those who were supposed to help made the choice not to, and the one who stopped, well, he had every reason to keep walking. Think about the woman at the well. Jesus could have ignored her. Everyone else in her community had, but Jesus saw her, listened to her, helped her. Think about the Apostle Paul, who poured into churches, ensuring that they were staying true to the gospel Jesus preached. Each of these examples have something in common. Each connection was intentional. And know this, Whatever relationship you are invested in, whether it's your parents, siblings, friends, your spouse, it takes effort to go beyond a superficial level. We've got to make it intentional for it to be relational. But the relationship each of us should be putting first is the one between us and Jesus. Before all the other relationships, that's the one that needs serious attention. I loved my husband when we first shared those vows, but our life together has deepened to a completely different level. Because of the amazing times and the amazingly difficult times, our relationship is far beyond the first I do's, and I am so thankful for that. The same can be absolutely said for my faith journey. Through the good times and the absolutely terrible times, I know my faith was deepened most when I was intentional about my time with Jesus. Whoever came to mind today during the podcast, see if maybe there is an opportunity for you to connect with them. But if there's only one takeaway from today, I so encourage each of us to be intentional with our time with Jesus. Of all the relationships we have, that is the one that can't stay superficial. There's so much to discover. There's so much to uncover. Jesus is ready. It just takes a little intentionality from us. I had mentioned the Apostle Paul earlier, and in his letter to the Ephesians, he shares these powerful words in chapters 3, verse 19. May you be able, with all the saints, to grasp how wide and long and high and deep is the love of Christ, and to know it beyond all knowledge, that you may be filled to the measure of all the fullness of God. Now, those are powerful words. This is not a God who only wants a surface relationship with you. Dig deep, my friends, and discover truly how vast his love is for you. It's intentionality at its best.